Kellyanne Conway is stepping down from the White House, and so is her husband, George Conway, not from the White House, which he despises, but from the Lincoln Project, to, quote, focus on their family after their 15-year-old daughter, Claudia Conway, posted a series of tweets calling them out and announcing her plans for emancipation. So I'm gonna share some of those detailed tweets with you in just a moment. And honestly, she's 15 years old, and it's uncomfortable to discuss something that's clearly hurting her and she feels is really destroying her life. I think that Kellyanne Conway, though, is using this as her very convenient exit as Donald Trump continues to unravel as the wannabe dictator that he is. And so Conway released a statement saying this: we, meaning she and her husband, disagree about plenty, but we are united on what matters most, our kids. Our 4 children are teens and tweens starting a new academic year in middle school and high school that will be conducted remotely from home for at least a few months. As millions of parents nationwide know, kids doing school from home requires a level of attention and vigilance that is as unusual as these times. She also says, this is completely my choice and my voice. In time, I will continue, or I will announce future plans. For now, and for my beloved children, it will be less drama, more mama. And so what is she referring to there? God, she's unbearable. But like what's more unbearable is how like members of the media are like, good luck. No, not good luck. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Claudia Conway has been tweeting a lot about her parents lately. And so she said, I'm officially pushing for emancipation. Buckle up because this is going to be public one way or another. Unfortunately, welcome to my life. She also quote tweeted her own mother, Kellyanne Conway, when she was bragging about some sort of CNN poll. And Claudia was quoted as saying, so CNN isn't fake news then? Fake news is something that Kellyanne Conway has accused the media of over and over again. Claudia Conway also tweeted, you know life isn't fair when you wake up to your own mother speaking aside a homophobe and a rapist. So, I mean, she does not hold back. Some more examples. My mother's job ruined my life to begin with. Heartbreaking that she continues to go down that path after years of watching her children suffer. Selfish, it's all about money and fame, ladies and gentlemen. And then as for her dad, and I particularly appreciated this tweet. As for my dad, politically, we agree on absolutely nothing. We just both happen to have common sense when it comes to our current president. Stop standing him. And then later, after her mother made the announcement, she claimed that she's not actually trying to get emancipated. But she also says it is because of years of childhood trauma and abuse. So look, again, she's 15. I feel awful for her to have to go through this, especially have to go through this publicly with like both of her parents constantly feuding about Trump and how awful he is. George Conway saying he's awful, Kellyanne Conway constantly defending him. But yeah, I don't care if she's out of the White. Like she's an awful human being. I don't trust anything she says, and she doesn't deserve an ounce of sympathy. Period. I'm not saying that I'm hoping for bad things to happen to their family. Of course not. No one should want that. Everyone should be thinking about their kids. And I hope that things work out for their kids. But make no mistake about who these two individuals are. They're not good people. And so let's stop like doing the nonsense sympathy tour in regard to Kellyanne Conway, who demonized all sorts of people, including children who showed up at our southern border seeking asylum, who were ripped away from their own children. Parenting is real hard when you're fleeing your own country for safety, and the Trump administration, with the help of Kellyanne Conway, meet those people with complete and utter cruelty at the border. I have no love for Kellyanne Conway, no sympathy whatsoever. She's a terrible person.
Yeah. Neither than do I. She got tired of spitting those alternative facts. Remember that term? That was the term. Trying to normalize lies. And I think about the children because I always think about the children and what a conflicted place that young woman must be in. To get to the point where you start speaking out publicly because you feel that, overwhelmed, and that's how dark it is for that little girl. That she's like, I'm taking this to Twitter, TikTok, like I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, how people talk a lot about this younger generation and make fun of them. I, for one, as a comedian, but that little girl's moral compass is more in line than both of her parents, who are showing up to be for checks, popularity, and fame, as she said. And that is abuse. That is abuse to those children. If poor families get their children taken away for less, for not having resources, and these people are exploiting the American people for checks, and these children are watching, and as she said, a rapist, and she's a rape apologist. Do you know what it is for someone to watch their parents play out some of the most egregious things in history while the entire country watches, to say that's my mother, the lady who talked bad about babies in cages, who made excuses for the president saying grab them by the like that's abuse. That is abuse. Yeah. And if you want to call those women who cross the border with their children for survival incompetent, then what are you? What are you? And I don't, that whole more mama, less drama, we don't buy it. Because you should have been a mama to your kids for the last 4 years when they needed you. Those are the critical years, middle school, right? High school now, you got what you got now, right? Now you got to deal with what's been planted. I'm a mom, I know what that is. You know what? Let them go. She'll be talking somewhere soon, because that's what they do. They go get them, and she'll be on CNN or somewhere else giving her opinion on something that she has no expertise on.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's the infuriating part about all of it. And it doesn't even take like a minute for members of the media to start sucking up to Kellyanne Conway. What are you doing? She demonized you guys, referred to you as enemy, helped Donald Trump in pushing this narrative that journalists are enemy of the people, are the enemy of the people. And Sam Stein, who was at the Daily Beast and now he's over at MSNBC, where he perfectly fits in and belongs based on this tweet. He tweets out, politics aside, good luck to the Conways, parenting is effing hard. No, they're not your friends, Sam. They're not your friends. Do your job and hold people accountable. It's just so pathetic, and it's just disgusting. And then one final tweet, and this is from clearly a conservative person in the media, hadn't heard of her before. She writes, in another universe, the legacy of Kellyanne Conway would be that of a feminist trailblazer? What? For now, at least, it's a woman forced to sacrifice her career, all because our woke lords of the media couldn't leave her child alone. Her child is calling out for help publicly, first of all. And secondly, I don't know, I don't recall seeing any faction of feminists advocate for ripping children away from their parents at the border.
Yeah,
plus never saw that.
Those woke lords didn't know who that girl was until that girl started revolting against her household by taking it to social media. So you cannot blame the people who are reacting to her videos after she did them, because they didn't know who she was, right? They didn't know who she was. So here we go. That girl started making videos. Everybody figured out who she was, and they started responding to the videos. We would have never known who she was in the first place had she not been in agony from her home situation and started reaching out by making videos on TikTok.
What amazes me though, Ida, is like how often people on the right are like, here's my argument, got him. I just own the libs. When all you do is just like reveal what an incredibly stupid, small-minded person you are. To refer to Kellyanne Conway as a feminist trailblazer is ridiculous.
Want to win a free electric scooter? Well, our partners at Aspiration and Zoom Electric are making it possible. All you have to do is head to tyt.com/greensummer for your chance to win.